Good morning and hello, I'm Professor Code. This is the Forex Supermodel Racing Review and Forex Briefing for Friday the 13th of January 2023. Quick look at yesterday's results then for Thursday the 12th. We were at Newcastle on the all-weather 3:35. We had to go at 3 horses in that race and we managed to get stuffed on that. We were beaten by this number 7, Cracking Power, which was the 11-4 favourite. And we were on this number 2, Modular Magic, which came second at 9-2, talk about that in a minute. Number 3, I Do Apologise, which came third at 8-1, and number 4, We Fat Mac, which came fourth at 3-1. So we got everything but the winners. So we got second, third, and fourth. We had 5.2 to 1 on Modular Magic, so we beat the odds there. £150, £150 in our case, 5.4 to 1 on I Do Apologise, and 150 again on at 8.2, which was pretty good on Fat Mac. Right, so what happened there then? Well, the whole basis of the analysis really was that this Modular Magic, which is was in our view was a sort of a blazing front runner, ended up being a sort of a Dick Turpin type horse, held up at the back, and basically the jockey decided to keep him well off the pace, and they had a massive change in riding style, and had the analysis basically was based on the fact that if this Modular Magic had kicked on as normal, then it would have burnt the guts out of Cracking Power, which wouldn't go the pace, and then these two horses, 3 and 4, I Do Apologise, and We Fat Mac, which are 6 furlongs sort of staying on from the back type horses on midfield, would have then taken up the slack. Well, that didn't happen because say there's a massive change in riding style, and so we lost our £4 per £8 unit, or £400 in our case, half a unit. So the account came down to 62.40 units in profit overall. So that wasn't very clever. I was having a beer with my son last night while we were eating, and we were sort of talking about it and thinking about the to stop ourselves going mad. We were thinking about the most amusing sitcom phrase that would sum up that race, and we came up with 2 possibly. Ain't half up on the sergeant saying, "Oh dear, how sad, never mind." So that was one. But my particular favourite is Only Fools and Horses, Rodney U Plonker. So that was basically summed up that race for us. With slight preference for Rodney U Plonker in my case. So anyway, that's where we are there. Today, Friday the 13th, we've got a 4-runner race at, I haven't written it up where it is, let's have a look. It's at Lingfield, so it's Lingfield on the all-weather, and it's, what time is it? It's 1:40. It's 1:40 on the all-weather, and it's a 4-runner race. As we said, it's a 5 furlong race, and that's interesting really. If you look at the likely favourite, which is number 2, Georgia Madeline, which is 10 to 11. What do we know about that horse? Well, it had three runs on the flat to get handicap mark: Newbury, Yarmouth, Doncaster. It then went out a couple of times at Brighton. And ran pretty well, managed to win at Brighton over 5.5 from the 6. Brighton's quick, model 99, and Lingfield at 5 is models 100, so M100 so it's a quick all-weather 5 furlongs on the turn, left-handed, and then this horse started to crack a little bit, this Georgia Madeline. It was at Wolverhampton 5, Chelmsford 6, and then Lingfield 6. And if you look at the replays on the last 3 runs on the all-weather, you start to see that horse is starting to lack resolution. It's physically not developed, and is likely to get bullied and worried out of it by some of these other horses in the other 3 in the race. So we've taken it on. We've given Georgia Madeline a chop. And then we've looked at, we initially looked at numbers 3, Mintana, and number 4, Porti-Valere, and they're quite promising. Porti-Valere, number 4, was strangled at Kempton, K6. In other words, it was basically held back to the point of stupidity, and then it went out at Chelmsford 5, which is model 99, and it had a bad trip there as well. So it's got excuses, that horse. So it gets a bit of a ticker, that one, which is number 4, Porti-Valere, and this number 3, Mintana. That's got excuses as well. That's been racing at Chepstow 5 furlong, which is quick, which is modelled 100, which is equivalent of Lingfield, and that the saddle slipped there, and the jockey was having a right struggle. If you watch the replay, trying to did well basically to run as well as it did, and then it ran at Leicester 6 furlong good, which is model 97. So it's a possible. So we're using those two, Mintana number 3 and Porti-Valere, as a lever. So we've got £1 per £8 unit on both of those, 3.7 and 4.7 to 1. So break even to slight profit there, low profit there. But the one we're really having a go at is this peculiar horse, Blue Jane, number 1. Now Blue Jane has had 3 runs, and it hasn't beaten a single horse home. And it's in our opinion, it's been seriously gamed, that horse. And on the face of it, if you had that profile, you'd expect to get odds, or at least probably, even in a 4-runner race, you'd expect to get at least 16 to 20 to 1 on that horse, being on paper a no-hoper. And it's got an official rating of, I think it's literally on the deck, 22. So anyway, the interesting thing about it is it's bred very well. And it's bred for speed and annual weather, and it's sort of stubborn in the odds. It's around the 7 to 1 mark. We've got £2 2 places at 2 to 1, and we've also got £1 place 2 places at 2 to 1. Get it right, and we've got £2 win at 7.4 to 1. So what we're doing is we're just basically giving it, taking the hint. And it's got a very decent jockey on, which sort of flags up they're going to be trying on this occasion. So we're having a go at this horse, and we're using these two as basically to try and hedge off our Blue Jane. So at reasonable odds. So we'll get a good return if Blue Jane can come in, and if one of these other two will make minor profit or low profit, and obviously if this favourite Georgia Madeline comes in, we'll lose a lot. So anyway, we've ended up with £5 per £8 unit, 0.625 exposure, and we'll give it a go there. So that's what we're doing. We're at Lingfield in the 140. It's a 5 furlong race with 4 runners. What is it? It's an actual it's a classified stakes, class 6, 3-year-old, 0 to 50. So potentially quite a grim race, and this is the dark horse, Blue Jane, which is a grey if you're looking at the replays. Right, Forex. We had a go at a moody buy order on the AUD USD just prior to the CPI, and we got a little bit of a bounce out of it. We got not much, but we ended up with about 21 points profit, and we got out because the volatility was horrible and the market was ultimately going against us. So we sold that on the basis of market positioning. So we got a little bit of a run there, and we got out, and then, as we said, we were doing this early shift, looking at the Asian session for commercial trading, and we sort of got got to the screens about 20 past 11 at night, and monitored what was going on, and left the screens about 10 past 1 in the morning. And there was no commercial trading. So even though there was potential for commercial trading, nobody was having a go in Asia. So we jacked that, grabbed another couple of hours sleep, and here we are really. So that's what we did. Now today you've got they've overplayed the downside on the dollar. So you've got the 1500 Michigan Consumer Sentiment, which is a tier 1 event, and the likelihood is we're going to stick a buy order on a dollar pair, depending on what's been really ramped down just prior to this. So that's what we'll be looking at. Can't tell you what it's going to be just because we don't know. So we're looking at a buy order for a bounce in the dollar. They're likely to want to lighten the shorts going into the weekend as well. So we've got a couple of things in our favour. So that's what we're up to. So Lingfield 140. Taking on the favourite, and that's where we are. So anyway, hopefully we'll get a bit better result than yesterday. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and goodbye.